What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, sorry for the delay, but I've been having some issues with my damn computer and shit, man. You know, I've been trying to fuck with it all day. I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell going on, man. I'm having some type of, I don't know, some type of error issue, whatever. But I do want to talk about last night's game, at least briefly. Miami defeated Los Angeles Lakers by the final score. I think it was 115 to 104, I think it was. Or it might have been 114 to 105. I think it was 114 to 105. And Miami cut into the Lakers' lead 2-1. Jimmy Butler was magnificent. 40 points, I think something like 11 rebounds, 13 assists for the Miami Heat. He guaranteed a victory in Game 3. He did deliver. I think Kelly Olynyk had something like 17. I think Tyler Hero finally started getting going a little bit in the fourth quarter, more or less. I think he had 17 as well. And this was a big victory for Miami. If they hadn't won this game, this series would have been over. Because as we know, no team has come back from a 3-0 deficit, not only in the NBA Finals, but just in the playoffs, period. The Lakers, well, look, to me, I'm not going to say politics played a role in this. Well, I guess I will say that. Look, we saw the report that came out that this is the lowest rated finals in NBA history. Therefore, you can deduce that the NBA has already lost money because of the situation going on in this country now. All right? So I wouldn't be surprised if the NBA would rather have this series go at least 6 games. All right? So, and in my opinion, the reason why the ratings are low is partially because one of the teams is not star-studded. And also, the time period, the finals usually is played in June. This is October, and there's a lot of different other sports going on right now. All right, so that's cutting into the NBA's ratings. But the reason why I say politics might play a little role is because, look, they might want this series to go a little bit longer. I'm not saying that the games are rigged per se, but I wouldn't be surprised the league tells the officials, look, in Game 3, maybe Game 5, look for calls that might benefit Miami a little bit. I'm just saying. So AD got in foul trouble. AD had been the biggest force so far in this playoffs going into Game 3. He gets into foul trouble. All right. LeBron did not play well. Okay. By most people's standards, he had an okay game statistically. But LeBron, in my opinion, I think he just missed shots, man. He just missed shots. And I think he settled a little bit too much for outside jumpers and three-pointers. He didn't get some calls to go his way last night. He turned the ball over a lot. I think he had like 7 or 8 turnovers. I think AD had like 5 turnovers himself. And that's going to kill you against a team like Miami. And that played a big part. Even though they got some contributions finally from Kuzma, and they got some contribution from the Morris twin, but it wasn't enough. Jimmy Butler and that ragtag bunch, man, they just put together a big victory, man. And I know LeBron James is very frustrated. I remember Jimmy Butler's last bucket before the 2 free throws. I think they gave him 40. LeBron James slammed the ball down in frustration. And you could clearly see that he saw it as a wasted opportunity. Because, look, I'm pretty sure that those guys want to get the hell out of that bubble as soon as possible. And also, more importantly, That was a golden opportunity wasted. The team is depleted. The only threat they had really offensively was Jimmy Butler. And the Lakers lost that game. And look, I'm not going to panic and say the series is over. Of course not. Lakers could win two games in a row and beat them 4-1. But the thing is, when you have a team down like that, you don't want to give them any confidence. And even though on paper this Miami Heat team might be one of the weakest in the history of finals, on paper, look, there's some things that you can't teach. There's some things that don't show up on the stat sheet. This is something that Nick Wright and other people don't understand. You can look at VORP, and you can look at usage rating, you could look at PER, you could look at field goals, times, efficiency rating, plus free throw percentage, equivalency, all this fucking made up fucking analytical bullshit, right? And I'm a stat guy to a certain extent, but I know how to interpret stats. And you know, but anyway, some things that you can't teach is desire, you can't teach will, and you can't teach effort, and you can't teach leadership ability. And Jimmy Butler has that in spades. And at the end of the day, a guy like Jimmy Butler can motivate and give guys confidence. Role players. Remember, these guys are role players. Some of these guys on these teams are rookies, second-year players. If you look at it, a lot of these guys on any other team, they would be, shrinking. They're on the biggest stage. And Miami doesn't play like that. By comparison, if you look at the Milwaukee Bucks, whenever they get down or whether they look at Giannis and he's struggling, the whole team struggles. They go through Giannis. But Jimmy Butler, however, has instilled confidence in all these guys. And Jimmy Butler may not be the best player in the NBA, but he's probably the best leader and encourager. You know what I'm saying? And he finally has a team with guys who he can get through because they're young, they're hungry, they're guys that, some NBA players might look down on a little bit, like, oh, okay, this guy wasn't this or that. He's a veteran, he's a journeyman, or this guy, whatever. I'm just saying, man, you never know what can happen. We've seen miracles happen. We've seen upsets happen. So, I still think the Lakers are going to win in 6, but you never know, man. You never know what can happen in sports, man. But tell me what you guys think. Oh, and by the way, it would be interesting if Jimmy Butler can do or replicate what Dwayne Wade did, which is actually, if he did it, it'd be even more impressive. Wade, of course, dragged that Miami Heat team down 2-0, down 13 points in Game 3 in the third quarter, I believe it was. They were on their way to being down 3-0. He reversed that trend in that game, led the comeback, and then proceeded to lead Miami to 3 straight wins to an NBA championship. And Jimmy Butler, I'm not expecting him to score like Dwayne Wade, averaging damn near 40 points in those 4 games. But if he can just lead this team through effort and leadership, now with the reinforcements of Dragic and Bam Adebayo coming back, if he can lead this team to an upset of this proportion, I don't even want to tell you, they're going to build a statue right next to Wade with Jimmy Butler on it. Like I said, I don't think that's going to happen, but, you never know. Tell me what you guys think.